Oh.
The game froze.
Why did this game freeze? Well, good start.
Hi.
Hey! Anyways.
Hi, hello. Welcome to Dear PB, a podcast where we hopefully help you become a better speedrunner, but probably won't. I'm Corbin May, but you can call me May, or she, or her.
I'm Swoos. You can call me SWC, or he, or they.
And joining us live from BGMCon in Plymouth, Minnesota, it's the whole audience.
Woo! I messed up.
So if you're not familiar with what we're doing here, this is going to be a weird sort of hour and change that you're going to be sitting through. We do a podcast every week where we take questions about speedruns, and then we answer them and give our combined more than 1 year, I don't know how long you've been speedrunning.
Enough.
Enough years of speedrunning advice to you, our loyal listeners.
We have a couple more people here, too. There's someone else on the couch with you.
Well, it
You
was
haven't
kind of a
introduced
surprise.
yet.
It was a surprise one, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Hi.
we were not prepared for this.
Yeah.
We were like,
this is
Helix.
Quagsire.
Don't worry.
There you go. No, Oscar424. I'm here to I don't know. I'm here to enjoy myself and actually enjoy this.
I'm also
Yeah.
here for
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we also have Helix on the hosting couch.
Yay.
Friend of the show,
Hi.
returning champ.
That's me. They, them.
In this corner.
Yeah, I also speedrun sometimes.
So,
Sometimes gets
yeah.
a world record in the practice room.
So we can get going and we
can.
can explain a little further and get started. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1.
Go!
Yay.
So, we're not going to be talking about the actual game that you're going to
Yeah.
be seeing us speedrun,
If you're here
which
for
I
the
know
run,
is...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a very weird energy for a speedrunning marathon, but we're going to do it anyways. We suggested this to Midwest Speed Fest, and we were like, there's no way they're going to let us do this really weird thing that we want to do, and they
You
were
thought
like,
wrong.
yeah, okay, you can do it. So now we are all suffering the consequences of our actions. A big shout out to our restreamers who were not warned about this at all. But yeah, so if you're in the audience here, you can ask us questions and we will answer them using us and our two wonderful guests. And Helix will be going around in the audience giving questions, and in the awkward situation that all of you don't have any questions, or like don't care about what we have to say, that's respectable, but I do have questions from online.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions, I guess
Do one
we could either do a show
right
of
here.
hands or we could do a
Yeah.
lining up sort of thing, whatever you want to do.
Open mic. Oh no.
Live mic.
I'm Luke here. I just wanted to know, it's SWC, when did you start running this game, and why do you run it? Like, what do you want to run?
To repeat the question, because I think there was a little bit of audio issues with that. The question was asking SWC why they started running Hat in Time, and a second part that I've already forgotten because my brain doesn't work. When and
did you
why?
start?
When and
When?
why?
Yes.
The
All
two
right.
W's.
So I started running this game in 2018, technically. But I don't know why. I wanted to run it for a while, and I am already having a great time here. Again, if you're here for the game, I'm sorry.
Part of the fun thing about our podcast is that it's actually extremely difficult to speedrun and also talk about vaguely
Forget it.
unrelated things
We're not
at the same
getting it.
time. And as a result, it is this podcast produces the worst speedruns you've ever seen in your life, which is part of why I was surprised they let us do it. So that's cool.
Did you play this casually first? Or?
So yeah, I try and play every game I speedrun casually. I got it through Humble Bundle, because like I'd always been interested in the game as a whole. Speedrunning was kind of like an afterthought, but I got it through Humble Bundle. Was like, this is a cool game, and joined the community in like 2018. Then kind of took off to do a bunch of other stuff, speedrun a bunch of other games, and then I came back to this late-ish 2019. Just because it was a game that I hadn't been better at. Then the community had an any percent tournament, which kind of made me want to get better, and so on and so on. I still play the game because it's really fun, and it's a good game, and it's got a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, I like it. This is like one of 2 games that I currently actively run.
Yeah, I also did run this game for a while, and I got into it because I was looking for co-op runs to do with a friend, and then I saw that I just went down to SRC, it's like list of all the games, and was looking at like, wait, does that? And then I remembered that Hat in Time existed because I saw it, and I looked, and I was like, it does have a co-op run. We could do that. And then I started learning any percent, and then my friend didn't. So I didn't end up doing a co-op run for like another 6 months after that. But
With me.
you should run Hat in Time. It's good. That's true. Swc and I, along with our friend Ava, do have the world record in 3-player co-op. Because nobody else has run it.
Yeah. Kind of by default, but it's also pretty good, I swear.
Not my part.
It's like 6 minutes faster than 2-player co-op.
Great.
But that's okay.
Great. I don't know how to do Alpine. It's super good.
Me either.
Do you have another question? We're just going to blaze through these. So then we're going to run out of questions.
Everyone better be
It's
prepared.
going to be awesome. Felix, you got to turn on the mic before you give it to him. Not everybody's as expert as you.
Yeah, this is Shaquille O'Neal here.
Hello, Shaquille
Hi,
O'Neal.
Shaq.
Hi, and I was just wondering, 'cause this is a question I've been, wondering for a very long time, and I was wondering what everybody here's opinion on this is. Why do they call it oven when you in the cold food of out hot eat the food?
Wow, so this is a controversial question in the community. Definitely hard to quantify the logistics of the synergy between the oven and the food. But through our 12-step program, you yourself can of out hot eat the food.
I'd like to follow up with this question with my own question for you, and that would be: have you ever had a dream that you wanted to, do so much you could do anything?
No.
Please note that somebody did in fact send that in as a question.
Oh god.
Fully so that I would read it on air, and I'll have you know that I nailed it. So nice try.
That's great.
I was told there would be no braining today.
I don't want to think any further than I already am.
I forgot my brain at home, so it's okay.
Yeah, historically speaking, on this podcast, there's not a lot of thought.
Sweet.
So,
Doing great.
yeah. Do you have another question?
That's all the questions. Thanks everyone
Thanks
for
everyone
watching.
for joining us. Get on.
No more questions. No, just kidding. Hat Kid, Bo Kid, or Timmy in life?
Timmy.
Timmy was a kind of cut character from the game.
See, I didn't play the beta.
Hat Kid free.
Hat Kid, yeah.
So Bo Kid, they are identical. You can select Bo Kid as a character to play as, and they are identical. All their attributes are the same, but Bo Kid feels different, and that's why I can't do it.
Fair.
Hat Kid.
I don't know. Doesn't have a large hat, so Bo Kid feels lighter.
Yeah, and Hat Kid's purple, which is my favorite color, so that's like a bit of a win, I think.
True.
That's respectable.
Yeah, and then I don't know who Timmy is. I'll be honest. I didn't spring for the Kickstarter beta, so I'll never know.
Never know.
Isn't Timmy just an average kid who no one understands?
No one understands him.
We have another question. All the way in the back. I do not know if the mic's gonna actually pick up all the way back there.
Oh boy.
So you might want to
This
come.
one's going great.
Fresh from not being in bed.
How about that? I'll
Miss
go up
Fight
closer.
Skip.
I got like the first piece of the volume.
I have a question then. So I know you both run different genres of games. Like for example, Corvin, you run Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And this would be a platformer. So I'm curious to learn how you practice differently, efficiently in different styles in different games. So for example, the process of efficiently practicing an RPG versus a platformer, for example.
Sure. So I don't practice.
I don't practice.
What is practice?
The way I practice is by doing runs and then resetting in the first 8 minutes, and then thus that counts as practice because I practiced the first 8 minutes of the run.
Fair.
It's not good advice. I never said this podcast was give you good advice, but it is. No, I mean, I guess what I do for RPGs is I'll practice specific menus. But RPGs I feel tend to be a lot turn-based RPGs tend to be a lot more knowledge based than individual
You got the best RNG here.
execution. So it's a lot more of especially in battle, all the menuing, knowing where things are, stuff like that. And then I will practice hard movement. When I do Pokemon, that's most of what I practice is movement. And then for hat time, you just do ILs. I just do ILs, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't like to practice like full sections, I guess. So like for something like this, I'll practice like a specific trick or a level that I sometimes have issues with. Otherwise, a lot of my practice also just comes from doing runs and kind of just like doing runs and messing up and figuring out like, oh, why did I mess up there? Because I need to do this earlier, I need to do this later, and then kind of take that knowledge into the next run.
That's a lot of how I practice, because I'm a super monkey ball runner, in case anybody doesn't know, and that's a lot of how I practice. I try to understand why something works, so that when I do mess it up, I can figure out why it went wrong and fix it for next time.
But yeah, just do runs. That's what I do, and I'm super great at this game, right?
This game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the relic.
That was convincing.
There's not even a relic near here.
Oh, is that a coin?
It's yarn.
That's a yarn?
Yeah.
I don't, as proven by my, you can tell my incredible game knowledge of a hat in time.
You get that yarn in the other category.
Hey, game knowledge is not required for speedruns for some of them.
That, yeah. That's like anytime I do anything that's outside of like any percent, like I've played so much Alpha Sapphire any percent, but then I try to do stuff that isn't part of like the any percent run, and I'm like, wow, I don't know anything about this game.
It's like, so what's the lore behind the game? It exists.
It's a game made by XYZ Company, and that's
Play
all
it
I got.
casually.
It came out this year. Does that count as lore?
Yeah, close
Don't
enough.
hold the lag button.
Yeah, nice lag.
Sorry.
Yeah, so what are you doing with keyboard and mouse to kind of...
So this one especially, it's because I can move the cursor faster.
You didn't write the marathon name on Hatkid's face. This is now an
Let's
invalid
pretend I
run.
did. I wrote MSSF there. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks everyone for watching. Exclamation point donate.
It is literally a pixel perfect. It is on a single pixel.
Yeah. For most reasons, the keyboard mouse is just for cursor movement and precision. There's like one level where I need to use it the entire time because the game turns into a third-person shooter. We'll get there.
Yeah. I do have some questions that I did pull from our loyal online audience who cannot be here. And that first question is, dear PB, what do people mean when they say just do a TSJ? I've heard this phrase before, but do not know what a TSJ is or how to perform one. From Trick Jumping Trainee. And I want wrong answers only. And if you have an idea in the audience for what TSJ could stand for, please let Helix know so that you can be given the microphone.
I'll be here for a while. So
Okay,
yeah,
well, while you all think about that, I'm going to read a quick donation.
Perfect.
There is an anonymous $5 donation who says, donating $5 more to say, I hope Helix is having a good day. Thank you.
Are you?
Are you good?
Better. I am on my second cup of coffee and I am feeling mildly more human.
Woo!
35 bucks.
That was for you, not me.
I didn't. During that time, I was kind of transfixed.
I was focused on
you not
missing
being
a
able,
trick.
you not being able to click back into the stage, and decided to instead not think of what the answer for this own question.
It's actually a turtle shell jump.
Okay.
So this game, if you do the correct inputs, you actually turn into Kaizo Mario World, and you're able to do turtle shell jumps like you normally do in Kaizo. We're not going to see it in this category. That's another category that I don't know the name of right now, but maybe eventually we can do some turtle shell jumps in a half time. My favorite Kaizo hack.
I have a good answer for TSJ in chat, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Temporomandibular joint. Did I get that? I don't know if I read that word right, but I think
That
sounds
that was
like a real
honestly
answer.
like
That sounds biological. I don't like
I
it.
said
I
wrong
literally don't know if
answers
I got all the letters in it, but that's what I'm going with.
Good enough.
That comes from Octini, so thank you.
Thanks, Octavia.
The second jump, because when you do a jump, you can then do another jump. So when you
Yeah.
do the second jump,
Yeah.
that's the actual proper term for it.
Yeah, so when people are like, how do I get across this long gap? You just do a
just
TSJ.
do a
You just
TSJ,
do
a
the
second jump. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean,
I just figured it meant turbo sandwich jump where it immediately warps you to a warp zone that discusses whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich.
No, we're not. We
That's
can't do,
also another
We cannot do this
category.
on this podcast. It'll be the entire episode.
Oh no.
I think there's a podcast for that already.
It looks like we do another question in the audience.
Twabert
Okay. I see.
Sowney Jr.
Twabert. Yep, you're right. Mr. Junior.
Mr. Jr.
I have a question.
Yes, yes. Why am I being stared directly in the eyes?
That's not the question.
You have to establish dominance before asking a podcast question.
So with your Pokemon background, what do you find to be the best gen to play casually, and then the best gen to speedrun?
All right, so the best gen casually is Gen 3, and that is because I'm 27 years old. And thus...
It's actually Gen 1.
Ow, that hurts in the feels and the oldness.
The best generation to speedrun is the hottest debate of all time. Nice or fast Eva?
Don't worry about it. This isn't about me.
I'm only going to commentate the big Swoosh messes up, by the way.
Oh, that's a lot of commentary.
So I'm a big fan of Gen 6 because I like the way that the 3DS games feel, and I also think Gen 6 is underrated. But that is an extremely hot take because both Gen 6 or all the Gen 6 speedruns are absolute RNG nightmare fests. In terms of like getting into speedrunning, if you want to get into speedrunning Pokemon, I recommend doing anything on the Switch. It's the most like approachable in terms of both. You don't have to have expensive capture hardware, and also like the skill floor is a lot kinder than like anything with like a Manip, for example. Like Let's Go has a lower skill floor but a really high skill ceiling, so it's one that a lot of people recommend because like you can play. It's a game that you can get into really quickly, but like you don't peak out on skill very fast, right? And then I mean Gen 1 you can run on emulator, so that's cool. But yeah, run ORAS, it's good, I swear. I did it on this for the last marathon of this, and it was good.
Heck, I'll take the...
Free to ask like marathon organization questions as well, because we have 2 members of staff here that can answer.
Yeah, also both of us run marathons too.
Yeah.
So
There's we have
a lot of marathon
bad game
knowledge
questions,
expertise here. You can ask whatever you want though. So
Heck, I'll take a wrong answer. Someone that doesn't run Pokemon games, I will say that the best one to play casually is Gen 1 because I'm 36 and ancient. Though, thank you. Thank you.
the best Pokemon game is the one that came out when you were 11.
Oh, God.
Or 9. I forget what the exact number is, but that's how it works.
It's the last game that came out before you became too cool for Pokemon for a couple years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can't
When you're like,
I can't
when
hear
you're like
anything that
12
isn't in
years
the
old.
mic. That's the problem.
Gotta
we
use
have-
your listening ears.
Another question.
Uh-oh. We have questions and organizing questions.
Nice chair. You actually better than the tournaments from the other
Don't
day.
talk about that. Curse content.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Hello.
Hey.
DTV.
Speak up.
We hear it.
Hi. As a marathon organizer, myself, I believe it's important to help make the preparation experience for the runner as smooth and easy as possible. What are suggestions that you could give as fellow marathon organizers to help the runners get set up and prepare for their marathon in a sense that you're able to help them help you put on a smooth show?
That's a great question. I recommend I think the less the
runner has
to do,
yes.
then the better it's gonna be. Because, like, and this is not a shout out or like a slam on any runners at all, but the butt's gonna do a lot of heavy lifting here. You just have to expect that every
Usually
runner
does, yeah.
is not gonna understand anything about your tech setup because they probably don't. And that anything that you make them have to do ahead of time will be done in tech check or 2 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
And this is speaking from experience as a runner.
Yeah.
So like, the best thing I think you can do is not have your runners do audio mixing on their own side. That's the word, because
Sorry.
audio mixing is extremely hard.
Oops.
And oh wait, did I actually just call out Midwest Speed Fest?
Maybe
Alright.
less Midwest Speed Fest, potentially more
We're gonna see
Helix.
the
More
statue
Helix.
fight.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait.
later.
I'm not the tech person.
I mean, part of it too is like
Love you, Rocket.
if you have people who are experienced, as your runners, then it's not a problem. But the less experienced that a runner is, the worst time they're going to have with anything audio related, unless they already understand audio stuff from streaming, essentially, because it's complicated and hard. Like, I know that's why, like, GDQ just redid a bunch of their stuff to make it so that essentially you don't have to do anything on the runner side for audio. Because before, for GDQ Online stuff, you had to, like, split audio, and like, they were constantly running into issues where, like, people's setups were weird. And now you don't have to do anything, which is better for everyone involved, because you don't have to mess up your own setup if it's complicated on your own computer. GDQ doesn't have to sit through with you and be like, okay, no, hit this button, hit this button, hit this button. All right, I don't know why that didn't work. Weird. Right.
It's funny because I was so used to having to like split my own audio and stuff for prior marathons, and then I got into GDQ and it was like, yeah, this is all set up for you. And I was like, so this is fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done. Cool.
Yeah, and like, there's the trade-off to that too is that like that is more work that you have to do on the marathon organization side. Which marathon organization is already a lot of work. Shout outs to the organizers of this marathon. Can we get a round of applause for them?
I'm clapping right now, I swear.
I've made up for my accidental call out now. We're even.
The hot take and then the gentle.
It's also nice to have like experienced volunteers
Yeah.
and good documentation. That's probably the biggest one is good documentation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good guides not only for the runners but also for the volunteers.
Because like with the veteran volunteers, you also have rookie volunteers or
Yeah.
significantly less experienced volunteers. So they're learning just at the same time. So just putting more into it from the beginning of everything, the output is so much smoother and easier. And not just like marathon standpoint. From someone like I do a lot of restreaming for randomizers, and yeah, the audio is always like you're saying. Everyone has their own audio setup, no matter what.
Audio is weird.
It is its own beast that no one likes.
Audio balance is hard. When it took us like 3 episodes to make the audio in this podcast actually listenable on our podcast feed. Don't watch the first.
My bad.
I mean, you could go watch the first 2 episodes.
Do not watch us.
Do not watch our
Do
show.
not watch
It's
us.
bad.
Well, I mean,
And like, yeah,
be a hot take.
that was by far the hardest part of like our audio medium show that we do. Was like the video part was super easy. There is actually a video part to this show usually, but
it's this. It's
I-
us right now.
it's us doing this right now.
This is the video part for every show.
I also want to say that like give yourself enough time to do things. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
have like rush marathons and don't have enough time to actually get everything together, which is a super common. Like, don't feel bad about it because it's a super common thing to do. Because everybody, including myself, underestimates how much work these things take.
Yes.
I made that mistake with this event.
Yeah.
Like everybody underestimates it.
There's like a famous like, oh,
I keep trying to put my controller down, and I move the control stick, so it just messes up everything.
there's like a famous thing about planning where whenever you plan for how long for something to take, it will take 50% longer, even when you account for this fact.
Yeah.
Like it will always take longer to set stuff up than you think it will. So
Sure.
give yourself time. Another small overlooked thing: have 2 people who understand how your technology setup works.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you get in situations like the marathon that I ran last winter, where I was incapacitated for the day for medical reasons, and everything broke.
Yeah.
So that was bad. You should not do that.
I'll take it a step further, especially since I'm learning this firsthand. If you have a kind of like non-traditional or a very off-the-wall weird console or setup,
Oh, I thought you were gonna
put
say
even more like
commentary, like this thing we're doing right now.
This is standard. This is standard. But it's like if you
For
just
now.
have something that's very more on the unique side of things, put even more time into making sure everything's set up beforehand, and like you have multiple people that know how to do it. Shout out to the run the run that you'll see probably go terribly in a few hours.
Yeah.
VR
we-
speedrunning is fun, y'all.
Can we get a round of applause for our tech staff?
Yes.
Round of applause for every tech staff
Yes.
on every marathon ever, because
Honestly.
it is so much work
For real.
that it's so much work,
Yeah.
and you don't even get to like be the person on the microphone,
Right?
Who gets to be like,
Rocket is
Exactly.
giving hard.
The
Yeah.
amount of crap that we put our tech staff through sometimes.
Sometimes.
By the way, this
Every
is the
event.
third-person shooter we alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
Fun.
There we go. I talked about the game. You cannot complain now.
Yeah. I
Alright.
think we talked enough about me messing up stuff. It's okay.
Bash has been wanting to ask a question for like 40 minutes.
Has it already been 40 minutes?
No, it's been 23.
You have a timer.
Okay, and?
Numbers are hard.
Did you forget your question?
No.
Still
it's-
having to assert
it's
dominance.
wording. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Alright, so as a marathon organizer myself, I was wanting to get more perspective from other people in this room on, say, like a worst case scenario happens and it's a nightmare, whether it's tech, whether it's logistics or something else that's going on, and frustrations come to a point, things are getting heated amongst staff. How do you let cooler heads prevail and ensure that you stay on track with the marathon and attempt to fix things as opposed to avoiding situations where a blow up might happen? How do you mitigate that, I guess is my question.
As the marathon organizer, you kick everyone from the chat and you do everything yourself, and then there's no more clashing of personalities because you're the only personality left. No,
Also,
it's
true
got-
for anime conventions too.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
There you go.
known firsthand.
Yeah.
I've done that.
That's an extremely hard question. Because
there's no good answer.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I think it depends on the people. Sometimes you just need to take a day, honestly.
Yeah.
It's knowing who is organizing with you and knowing how each person kind of needs that moment to just recollect themselves. And yeah, it's also that not everyone's gonna be happy, and it's gonna. Yeah, there's no good answer really.
Yeah,
you need to make compromises, and you need people who understand that you need to make compromises.
One person
It's
cannot run
just-
a marathon by themselves.
it takes a village to run a speedrunning marathon.
It really does.
There's got to be a pun there somewhere.
But also, this is it takes a Rift village to run a speedrunning marathon. There you go, hat time, baby.
I think it also takes an understanding that even if this one specific thing doesn't happen, you can still have a great event.
True.
Right.
Also, this is always a thing that I feel like is you kind of this is the problem that you have to resolve before it happens, sort of thing, by having people who get along with each other on your staff. You can't just. This is a weird thing to say, I guess, but in terms of your marathon staff, you have to run an event with people that you get along with.
Yes.
So even if somebody is if somebody's not being conducive to having a good committee environment, but even if they're willing to do a lot of work, it might just be a net negative, and
Right.
that's just a standard social group thing you have to navigate. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
That interaction stuff and social stuff. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have a
Question
game
about
question.
the game.
Oh no.
Do you even know what you're playing?
No. Apparently not.
All right.
No, you can ask. That's totally fine.
Force the commentary out of me.
Question about the game. What is your favorite exploit or glitch that you use in this run? Could be for any reason, and why is it your favorite if you've got one?
This requires game knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know this game.
I like the DSJ and TSJ because they feel good to do. They're just very satisfying. They're basic movement tech, but everyone feels good.
Technically, still is an exploit.
It is an exploit.
I'm a big fan of lag shots. Which
I
you'll
hate lag
see
shots.
Later, well, you're not me.
I'm bad at them. That's true. I also there's an exploit that you'll see later in Alpine where we are able to not set our checkpoint position by getting off of the hook shot earlier than the game intends. And the reason why this is a fun exploit is because it makes every single jump we do a cool backflip.
Yeah.
I'll try to point it out when we get there, but I'll probably forget.
Hey.
Do
we
we
have
have?
acknowledged it?
I'm gonna ask another online question because we have a question that says, "Dear PB, what's your advice for doing a run at a live marathon event?" From Skylon01.
Do a podcast instead, so you don't have to worry about your run being bad.
There we go.
Play terrible games that are going to be bad no matter what.
That also is good. Be funny, and then no matter how bad your run is, people will be like, "Wow, that was a fun time. You sat there and said the name of a single Pokemon for 3 minutes in a row. And
Wow,
so
is that a reference there?
now we're just memeing about it
Yeah.
instead of paying attention to the fact that you choked.
Be remembered for you and not your run.
Exactly.
In all seriousness, practice commentary beforehand.
Yeah.
Also, if you make a mistake, you're probably the only one who's gonna actually know that you made a mistake.
Yes.
So just keep cool.
No one
Don't
saw that
dwell on
mistake.
it, and
I
then
made a
have
mistake.
rest, like,
Oh,
just
how
keep
unfortunate.
playing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make mistakes in your run, make sure that your commentator on the run hasn't decided to point out every single mistake that you make,
Yeah.
just so that the entire audience knows, and that you're not also at the same time doing a podcast. So it's literally the only game-related commentary that you get.
It got really shady over here just
I am
Well, it's shade towards myself for being toxic.
towards me for being bad.
Also,
Okay, I mean,
Well, yeah, now you say it, yeah.
also
yeah.
understand that you can make a mistake and still like have a really impressive and good run.
Right.
True.
yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
for commentary is good.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that like play a game casually that might just
The fun level.
see you do something so fast and just go, oh my god, like I didn't even think that was possible. Or
Yeah.
You don't even do this level
So-
normally. Because I'm
See?
bad, we do this
Wait,
level.
wait, did you miss
I
that?
missed it twice and decided not to bother.
I see. Well, we get to hear
We
the
get
music.
good music.
right?
So that's cool. What if we just sat here and didn't talk for 2 minutes as we listened to your contract that's expired? Was that the Death Wish version?
They're both good.
They are both good. Okay, yeah, serious advice is,
Mistakes
This-
are gonna happen.
yeah, mistakes are gonna happen. It's kind of the same thing as like any sort of like public speaking type experience where like you just have to be prepared and not have your nerves get to you. Easier said than done, obviously, but also once you do it once, like after you do it the first time, it's every other time will be easier. Like this wasn't like I would have been really stressed if this was the first time I was doing a commentary and then also need to do a podcast at the same time.
Yeah.
But it is not the first time I've done a podcast and not the first time that I've done a commentary, and thus it was not as bad as it could have been.
Only
Don't
make-
die, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I get more music if I die.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, like was said, roll with your mistakes.
The worst thing you can do for any commentary is to be super negative. Okay, I literally told you not to.
I didn't know where the potion
The
was.
worst-
Hey!
We got more music. It's important.
The worst thing you could do
RNG
for anyone, by the
manipulation.
way,
RNG
unrelated
manipulation.
to what just happened and what I just said, is to be super negative. So, because the vibe of your commentary is the vibe of the run.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that applies to anything, not just online runs.
Yeah, honestly, the best decision I made for any of my marathon runs was AGDQ 2020 when I had Jaxler and Zojalix next to my couch and they just popped off whenever
Next to
anything
the-
happened, and it made the vibe of the run so good.
That's always important.
Yeah,
Have a hype
Yellow
person.
shirt guy, shoutouts to yellow shirt guy.
Well, it's like
go ahead.
there's probably for a lot of people that I kind of fill a weird niche in that I got into speedrunning basically when COVID was starting to hit. So I've done a lot of like online runs, and now I'm just starting to get into in-person runs. So I will honestly say the online runs for me are almost a little bit more terrifying because it's me just kind of sitting in my room
Right.
and just I literally have nobody with me. But coming into like in-person runs and having awesome, some questionable but awesome people like around me and just having a good time.
Have you seen our podcast?
I am right now.
Somewhat
It's
questionable.
fantastic.
Somewhat questionable is like our whole vibe.
Yeah, that's what I love. I play questionable games, so it works out. But it's just having the people around you, and they're like, we all want everyone to succeed. That's the thing.
That was totally perfect. First try.
First
Every-
try, jump scare warning, by the way.
Jump scare. Not yet. It's actually a couple because you actually have to go through.
Oh
the
yeah, you
volume
have to
this
actually
time.
go through the
Ready?
things.
Ready? Please.
Oh wait, sorry.
Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. It's all right. Everything's okay. Ooh, that scared me. Never seen that before.
Yeah, same. That's the first
Uh,
time I've seen it.
I gave
Really?
it.
You need to sign the
No,
contract.
I don't want to.
Okay.
But you read the TNCs.
Yeah, because the first in-person run that I ever did, because I also started during the start of the pandemic, was Midwest Speed Fest, the last one before this. Woo! And before, like, I was sitting, like, during setup, I was sitting there and was, like, a little bit nervous, but then, like, when it started, it was like, oh, yeah, it's just any other run, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's any other run, but I'm not allowed to reset, so it's worse.
That's, I mean, that's kind of what I was gonna
That's
say
how I
is
felt the
that
first 15
at least in
seconds of
theory,
this
I interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say at least in theory, you've done this all before. You've run
Yeah.
the game before. You know what you're doing.
If you've ever streamed on a run, you've streamed the game while talking about stuff, and thus you're already prepared to do commentary.
Yes.
Though talking is really hard. Shout outs
It
to
is.
our own show and the amount of dead air we have in it.
Dead air is okay sometimes. That's also a commentary tip. Dead air is okay.
Like that shout out took a swerve.
Shoutouts to us.
Shout outs to us. We're bad at our jobs.
Hey!
Just ask my employer.
Don't ask mine.
Do you have any more questions? We have a question. Woo! Get on camera so people can see you.
Oh, you want me to be on camera? Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, hi.
Hi.
This is Jaxler. I have
Hi,
a sort of
Jaxler.
a two-part question.
Gets on camera, hides directly behind.
Yeah.
Wait,
There we go.
Hey!
wait, let's all just hide behind Swoos.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this is invisible commentary. Yeah. So I have sort of a two-part question for y'all. My first part is, what do you all
You're still
look
hiding
for
behind my
in a
number.
speed run? If you're deciding if you want to run the game. What do you all look for in a speedrun's community when you're deciding on whether you want to run the game? And which of those two questions is more important to you?
So, yes, they're both important. Because when I want to decide what game to speedrun, generally what I do is I go and I look at all of the games. I try to remember what games exist, which is really hard for me.
Yeah.
And then I go through and I'm like, I did like Death's Door. I should try Death's Door. And then I go and I look at what the run consists of, and I'm like, oh, the entire thing is polystrats. And I'm bad at that.
Yeah, I've done that too.
And so this is not a slam on Death's Door. This is just the most recent example for me. That community's
Yeah.
cool. But I was like, I don't want to do a run that's only polystrats, even if I really did like this game and the community's cool, as far as I know. So like, it's a bit of like trial and error of like trying something and then being like, okay, actually this isn't landing for me. But I didn't just like, so the first game I ever ran was Crosscode, which is extremely hard, and it's cool, but I don't super recommend it because it's by far the hardest thing I've ever run. Which is why it's good that I did it first. But the way I did that was I went into Steam, and I scrolled down my Steam most played games list until I found one that I was like, that game was fun. I wonder what the speedrun looks like. And then I looked at the speedrun, and I was like, yeah.
This is easy?
No. I did not think it was
survey said.
easy, but I was like, I could do that. And I was right, but also I wasn't.
Understandable.
And then for a community, that one's harder because you kind of have to just go in and hope for the best. But
Right.
just good energy and not toxic. Yeah.
Not necessarily the highest bar, but some people have trouble with that.
True.
Right?
I've never been in a community like that.
I need to do the obligatory call out in this
Yeah, we got.
level.
Wait,
Oh boy.
can we all read aloud in together?
It's a large,
Large,
heavy
heavy
book
book
titled Proof of Ethical Consumption Under Capitalism. The
pages are all blank.
But accurate.
Are they wrong though?
Like. Well, guess what?
We don't actually have a name for what our podcast listeners are yet. If anybody has any suggestions, please
Dear-
let us know. We do need a good cult name.
Speedrunners.
Dear PB,
Wow.
World Records.
Speedrunning's a cult.
True.
That's the episode title.
I think I've had a weird
Speedrunning.
situation where the majority of games that I've speedrun actually don't have communities, or the communities are very tiny. So I guess from a gameplay standpoint, I got in just by finding a game that I liked and found out it has speedrun and said, okay, this seems like an intelligent idea. Also, shoutouts to First Step, because that's actually how I kind of got into speedrunning. And Midwest Speedfest for accepting my fly shooting game.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Resogun. But, yeah, and these days, though, I've been doing a lot of Google searches for worst video games of all time, and I said, okay, yeah, I'll play that.
I respect
And,
it.
yeah, and now I was telling some of my friends earlier, I've found a niche of having a PS5 and putting absolutely god-awful games onto it and speedrunning those. So it's like I'm playing games like Lizard Lady versus the Cats, and Lady in a leotard with a gun.
That's the name of the game.
That's the actual name of the game.
God.
So that's what I've been playing these days, but
You're supposed to get the
These,
gold
the,
ticket.
the,
Yeah,
ticket, the
it's
tickets
just-
have
it's-
different hitboxes
it's
depending on your
one
setup.
person has been playing these games, or making these games, and you know what? Sure. But
Might as well.
no, it's though Moss, the one I've kind of picked up as my main run right now, it has a small community in and of itself, and even devs are all speedrunners of it, and it's having that interaction with that community has been driving me to want to play it more and to help route it, and slowly waiting for the PSVR exclusive to go away so I can play it on my Oculus for the sequel that just came out. But finding that community definitely helps.
I know I've never
Sure.
seen a speedrun of Moss before. Does anyone know where I might be able to see one of those?
Yeah, I'm also
Well, you're gonna see a questionable one in about an hour and a half.
Oh my goodness!
wow.
Here on this channel, right after this run? Wait,
Here,
no,
speedruns
not right
in our
after.
marathon.
2 runs after this run?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I'll have to be there for it. Wow.
Yeah, also, again, shout out to Rocket and Speed Tech for getting this sorted out for an in-person VR run, so thank you for that.
Yeah, tech.
If anybody caught the VR run at Midwest Speed Fest 2021, and we had
I think it was Bahamut doing Fisherman's Tale.
and then we had like sex Rex on the ground just like holding a cord.
Yep.
I do remember that.
Oh, VR speedrunning.
But yeah, I guess like was mentioned before, I play platformers. I don't try and play like non-platformers just because that's the type of game I like. I like relatively higher action platforming and movement stuff.
Okay, but have you considered menuing? Oh,
No.
only menuing.
I menu right now, actually.
Oh, there you go. This is pretty much an RPG.
Yeah. But kind of similarly, I just like look through games that I own or like are coming out soon. It's like, oh, that sounds cool. I might do that. And then I either never get around to it because I end up playing the same games, or actively try and then just don't really vibe with it.
Highly recommend
Yeah.
not continuing a game if you're not vibing with it.
Sure.
Yes.
Because the sunk cost fallacy is real, and you should be aware of it.
Well, it's like even games that you love casually, if the speedrun isn't jiving with you, don't do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of what you were saying earlier. For me, I'm obsessed with Devil May Cry 3, but I hate the strats for the speedrun. It didn't jive with me, so I said, you know what, I want to speedrun it, but I'm not gonna have fun.
Yeah,
Right.
I did that with, and I apologize to exactly one member of our audience right now. I did that with Cheapy Robo. And that is because Cheapy Robo is like one of my favorite games ever. And I was like, oh, I'll show you the speedrun of it. I have all the stuff for setting up. And then it hurt my hands to do the tricks. And I was like, this, because I'll be honest, I don't care for the GameCube controller. I think it's kind of not the best. And so I didn't keep doing it, and my hands are happy, and now I just destroy them on the 3DS instead, so it's better.
Hey!
Shoutouts to not hand health, apparently.
Yeah.
Woo.
No, this is not the official opinion of this podcast. You should take care of your hands. Invest in your future speedrunning self.
Invest in new hands,
Whoa.
if you can do that.
Whoa.
Weird.
The bionic speedrunner.
I'm going to interrupt really quick and just remind everybody that we are, in fact, raising money for State of Music, and we have a bunch of donation incentives that you can all put your donations toward. There's an 80% bonus run of The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, and you can name the character there. And you can have Bass Driven sing the credits after Portal 2. And you can make Gooby, well, we're already making Gooby play Shaq Fu, but you can also make Gooby play with audio and watch cutscenes, so you can make this experience even more fun.
Yeah.
Also talking about games to
yeah.
hurt your hands.
If you're liking our podcast, then you should donate to name Morrowind Dear PB, and because that way, if it doesn't happen, I can feel bad about myself.
Wow.
So no matter what, I
mean-
either get to self-victimize or
Sure.
we get donations in. It's a win-win, right?
Well, I mean,
for
currently
publicity.
that incentive has nothing toward it, so actually go do that.
It wouldn't even be hard to do.
But yeah, you can go to donate.midwestspeedfest.com, and that will link you directly to the donate page.
If I wasn't on stage, I'd do it right now. I just don't have.
Still
I just
can.
don't have a way to do it.
True.
Donate. Can you spell it out for me so I can go there right now?
I thought you could.
I just.
Donate.midwestspeedfest.com. You could also just go to donate.mwsf.gg.
Well, I went to donate.mindwestspeedfest.com, which is
Does that URL
different.
not actually work anymore?
Mind West, that's like the Mensa approved marathon.
I want to. Wait. Oh, but I want to name them Milderwith. Milderwith. I can't talk. Why do I do a podcast?
Your call.
Donate.mwsf.gg does work, so that's an even shorter URL you can use.
Any other questions from either online or in person? Because I have not talked enough.
Sorry, I'm donating.
This one's for Swoos.
Oh, it's me.
I think about like 20 minutes ago you were in the subcon forest and you did the subcon well, but I wasn't really paying attention. Where's the subcon well?
Where is the subcon? Well, it's in subcon forest.
Yeah, it's in Subcon Forest. It's a
I tried to
subsection.
meme and I failed.
It's a subsection of the Subcon Forest where the Subcon Well is. That is where you can find the Subcon Well.
That is true. Was there a joke that I just totally didn't pick up on?
I figured there had to be.
Potentially.
Are we both bad at jokes?
Probably.
You should watch our podcast.
That's why we have a podcast together, yeah.
Do we have any other audience questions? We have audience. I'm so happy we have so many audience questions because I was so sure that, like, worried that we would get here and it would just be like me and Swoos talking to no one.
Shout out to the audience.
Shout out to the audience. Great community.
Yeah, go you.
Please clap for yourselves. I do it.
Please.
I do it all the time. It's called having a podcast.
You clap for yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me.
I got a question, Swoos, about the game. Do you have a favorite level to play, and what is it?
Not this one.
Mine is Yakuza Metro, which I don't think you're playing because you're just playing base levels.
Correct.
But yeah, there's the hidden trans flag in that level, which is
True.
really cool. Too bad we're not able to see it in this run, but
That's
yeah,
what
We can go to it after.
That's
Yeah.
what
Remind
TSJ
me-
stands
that.
for. Is Trans Rights J.
Jay. Remind me after the run and we'll go take it a visit.
So yeah, what's your favorite level in this game, and why do you like it if you've got one?
Backflips, by the way.
Backflips. Woo.
I mean, like, as like a
knew I could
casual area, I do like Metro a lot. It's made really well.
Yeah, I think
and
it's the
there's a
best
lot of
design
cool
stage
stuff.
casually.
For speedrun, it's probably going to be the Pipe Rift, which I did earlier in Subcon. It's just very nice and relatively easy to do, and it has really cool movement. But a lot of the rifts in this game are just very good because they're sort of made for speedrunning. Like, they're not, but like they kind of are. So,
My favorite
least
as well.
favorite.
I really like Well. It just is.
Well is
it,
good.
it is very smooth when you like do all the speedrun stuff for it.
Subcon as a whole is very good.
My least favorite is Birdhouse.
My least favorite is Shipshape.
No, Shipshape's good. My least. I don't actually think my least favorite is Birdhouse. It's just really hard. Or it's
Yeah,
really
it's very hard.
punishing is the thing.
It's the one I'm doing now for reference.
But also when I was doing it, I had to get the stupid Birdhouse relic, which makes it so much worse. And we don't actually
I don't
get
have
that
to
anymore.
here. It's
So
very nice.
the actual answer for least favorite is probably Heating Up. Heating Up sucks.
Heating up is very difficult.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest level in 90%. Don't die.
Don't
Again?
tell me what to do.
Okay.
There's heart pawns up here.
There's a heart pond at the top.
That's true. There's two actually.
Chris is voted.
I have a few donations to read. You all have answered the call. Thank you.
Yeah! Shout outs to everyone who donated. See, I love clapping for myself. I told you.
There is a $5 anonymous donation that says the GameCube does have the best controller, but it's not the standard one. It's the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller.
True. Also, shout outs to the keyboard controller for PSO.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, it's
big
good.
Fan of the
It's
keyboard
good.
Controller.
I just want to say that if I ever get my hands on that Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller, I will do a monkey ball run with it.
Yes.
If somebody can help make that happen, let me know.
I saw one at a local
Chat, we're
half-price
calling
books
ya.
like
Why'd you not-
2 years
why'd you
ago.
not
It was
buy it?
really expensive.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
It was like $150.
Oh, but consider.
That's why I don't have one.
Have you
Exactly.
considered the content that you get $150 content out of that?
Maybe you could.
Thank you.
But, oh, Mike, there we go. We also have a $50 donation from Corvame who says, Hi,
Whoa!
Helix. Please read my donation.
Thank you.
Why'd you read the
Hi, May.
donation?
I have read your donation.
Thank you.
Hey.
I appreciate it. Shout outs to Helix for reading
Shout
my
outs to Helix.
donation.
No, you. Shout out to everybody who donated. I wouldn't have
That's-
anything to read if y'all didn't donate.
That's so true.
Shout outs
also
to Helix
$10.
for reading my donation. No you.
No,
For you.
Shout outs to May for reading Helix's donation.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for reading your own donation.
Whoa.
Enjoy your donation, you two.
Donation session.
There's $10 here from Quagsire who says, Colin P.
Thank
I didn't
you.
bring any Pokemon plushes this time because
Well, this isn't Pokemon,
because
so...
my Pokemon run later is like 20 minutes, so I was like, I don't know. I just brought my Drifloon hat instead.
It works.
Which is just me trying to say, please accept more of my Pokemon run so I can bring more plushes.
Understandable.
We do have a Mudkip on the.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It should
Okay,
also be in a lone Vulpix
I want to show
somewhere.
off this Mudkip quickly because it is.
It is Mudkip. It is
No.
confirmed.
My favorite part about this Mudkip is that it is labeled Mudkip.
In case you forget.
Okay,
Yes.
so that is actually
Oh,
a
no.
leftover joke from Midwest Speedfest 2021 where Jeff went around and just labeled everything and I never took it off.
Is this adding value? Hold on.
You're trying. You're not going to hold it there for the rest of the run.
I don't know what you're trying to do.
Will I go overestimate? That's the real question here. If I do, that means we have more time for questions. So
That is true.
you actually want me to have a bad run. I get
Exactly. Another question we got from online. Dear PB, by the way, you're always. We didn't talk about this ahead of time, so just everybody on stream who's watching can chat. Just close your ears for a second. You're supposed to start. You were supposed to start your questions with Dear PB. We didn't talk about this, but I just thought it was.
it. But you should know anyways.
Alright, you guys can come back now, guys. Don't worry.
All right. If you left, sorry.
Dear PB,
We said this wasn't about me.
what's the weirdest speedrunning quirk, ritual, or habit that you or another speedrunner has? It could be a unique way a controller is held, a lucky shirt, or something else of that nature. From Superstitious Speedster. And if anybody in the audience has any superstitious things you do, feel free to comment. Mine is that I continue to play Pokemon despite it being extremely mean to me and thinking that it will be good at some point.
Yeah, I play this game, so
Yeah?
that's my superstition. I don't have any.
I don't think I do either. I definitely do the knock on wood when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win. Like, okay, I win this fight now, unless like a 1 in whatever chance.
I do that.
Because
and
if I don't do
so-
that, then I will lose. So, and then sometimes I'll lose anyways.
I try to
We need
talk
the
about.
mic.
Yeah, I try to talk about weird tricks in hopes that I can actually successfully do them. And
Yeah.
it usually works about no % of the time.
Aw.
So
If I deliberately play with the intent to PB, I will never PB, so I never play with the
True.
intent to PB, and then I always PB.
Yeah, there you go. I forgot that I had my
just trick the
frame.
game. I love it.
You remind me that I have my frame for tall shirt on, but I didn't unzip my hoodie.
We're all wearing GDQ shirts.
Yeah,
I can't unzip my hoodie. I did it.
I know in this
zippers are hard.
in this game especially, you kind of have like the free choice of which dye you get to use. So right now I'm using this blue and white one. I know a couple runners are relatively superstitious about like which one makes them play
Yeah.
better and stuff.
I like that you chose the die where you choose to die on Snatcher.
Yeah. Look, Snatcher was a mess today. That's okay. I missed the hover
I sure
twice.
brought my Snatcher plush.
Missed the hover twice. Died in the fight.
Why did I do that?
I don't know.
Oh man.
It's your plush.
Yeah, it is my plush. You're so right.
You know what they say. Your plush, your problem.
Is
I
that
don't know
what
who said
they
that.
say?
That's what I say.
Okay. Somebody please save us from this bit with
Yeah.
a question.
I mean, if anyone else has any speedrunning superstitions, feel free to wrangle control of the mic. Not for me.
I think we
but
do have a question.
You're alive. Go, 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 go!
Okay, dear PB.
Hey.
One unavoidable consequence that every speedrunner will run into at some point is burnout and/or frustration when they cannot achieve the goal that they have set. What are some things that you guys do as speedrunners to help alleviate this burnout?
Yeah.
You take breaks from your game. You play it. For example, I try to play my game casually so that I'm playing it in a different way from speedrunning.
Whoa. Thank you. Shout outs to Tech.
Cool. Because that helps me try to like learn the game from a different perspective, and playing it one way will help you play it in a speedrunning way better, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In a way. So I'm
So-
curious to hear what you guys do.
Part of the solution to like not having burnout is that EA doesn't make it anymore, and they should bring it back. But also,
Accurate, actually.
switching between games is helpful. I find like if you're starting to burn out on something, it's better to burn out on one game than it is to burn out on the hobby as a whole. So just having some like different things you can go between. Not feeling obligated to do runs. That's like my #1 advice. Is like, there's definitely a period of time where I was like, well, I should do a run today, even though I don't really want to.
Right.
Right.
Because like I should stream or whatever. And then I realized that if I just don't do that, then I'll ever want to do runs again. So like right now, I'm not even doing I'm doing casual challenge runs, because haven't really been feeling doing runs on my stream lately. It's been very nice to not to just have a little break, you know?
Yep.
Especially with like all the marathon stuff that I've been doing this month and the month before. Like it's good to have a little bit of balance. Balance is good.
If you can find a way to play your game that like you enjoy still, and like if you still want to play the same game, then like do that like a challenge run or something. Otherwise, if you still want to speedrun the game, you can do another category or like a category extension or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's actually that's really good advice if you want to continue to like improve at your game, but also not burn out. Is just do a different category because you'll still build similar tricks in most games or skills in both games. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, because I kind of like got bored of 80%, so I started running this category or the all DLC version of it, which does the same 80% levels. So like I was still like developing my skills at it.
Right.
It was just not 80%, like not in that context,
Yeah,
but it's still the same.
You don't have to reset Mafia Town every time because you could just lose time elsewhere too.
I still do, but yeah.
Well, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
You choose to.
Yeah.
How's your pawns looking?
I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is the one category where you
Category.
have to worry about your pawns.
Don't void out this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a while. Alright, now it's good. If you do that dive too early, you lose like a minute because you just don't get respawned there and you fall for a long time.
Yeah.
There's a couple of cases like that in this
Which
game.
there's Hatch Community's been doing a all time pieces all DLC tournament that Swoosh has been running, and the run of the Swoosh's wow.
You're trying really
I'm
hard.
trying so hard.
Shout out to Words.
Shout out to Words. Swoosh's last race on Thursday, which I commentated, had that void out issue, and you should not go watch that commentary because it was extremely unhinged.
It's like this, but like
a lot worse. I was a little drunk. Oh yeah, you actually have Dweller for this. You don't have to do the stupid throw.
The route in all DLC was changed, so you get it as well.
I'm gonna ask another question from our lovely online
We
fans.
started talking about the game, therefore we have run out of content.
We're done.
Go ahead.
Dear PB, what is the best controller for speedrunning, and why is it the N64 controller? From May gets to decide what the question asker's names are if they don't specify one, and therefore this question asker's name is Bad Opinion Haver.
So I will defend the N64 controller, not the stock one, but like the Hori 64 mini pad. That one's good. The regular one is not.
Did you guys know that the Wiimote, or like the Wii Nunchuck, is just the middle stick of the N64 controller? I learned that recently.
I believe it.
It's crazy. You know what else is crazy? The N64 controller.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Do you not have
Yeah,
three
you're right.
hands?
Oh my god.
Imagine not having 3 hands in 1998.
By the way, can you like?
Six.
Okay, no, the mic was like not working. I think it's working again.
Okay.
It's smooth. Just like a PlayStation controller for speedrunning. That's just
Yeah, I think
hot take right there.
the main takes are I use a Xbox One controller,
Same here.
and that or like a DS4 or DS5 are the best. If they're comfortable, that's okay. I can't do this. I need to take damage.
The one thing that I will give the GameCube controller is that the A button's real big. I like that.
It tells you
I
it's good.
love the GameCube controller
Oh, and
as
the
a
notches.
monkey ball speedrunner.
Notches, very important.
Yes, that is
Fair.
exactly why. That octagonal gate is a godsend. I also think it feels comfortable, but I don't really run games that have like super high APM. I mean, I did used to play Smash, but like the game I run now is I just move the joystick.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Shout out to the Switch Pro controller too. I like that one.
I hate the Switch Pro-Con.
You don't. Got
Wow. Shoutouts, except for you.
Yeah, as a
and
as a versus run a lot of Sword and Shield, the Switch Pro-Con's D-pad is garbage.
it. Okay, that's true. I mean,
so
so is the
bad.
GameCube controllers.
Yeah, like the rest of it's fine, but it's like oh god, it's the mushiest D-pad in the world, which is like important for menuing in Pokemon because it's the whole game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do we just have like opposite? You hate all the controllers I like.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like there's an Avril Lavigne song about that somewhere.
there are things about the GameCube controller that I want to like the notches and the big A and like, but I
The
just feel
big
like Big A. Shoutouts to Big A. But the problem is that, like, it's like the least ergonomic thing ever designed besides the N64 controller.
Small hands and the original Xbox controller.
Okay. Yeah, also bad.
Any size hands in that controller.
Oh,
Yeah.
also true.
Any size hands and the Joy-Cons. The Switch
Yes.
Joy-Cons, I have tiny hands and they still hurt my hands.
I don't hate the Joy-Cons, but, and this is a big but, only in handheld mode. I think they work pretty okay in
Oh, they're
handheld
fine.
mode.
They're fine when they're played in handle.
Yeah, but in
Loose, they're not.
the grip, it's not. I don't like to use them in the grip.
Sorry
it's
for the
like my
loud
worst.
thunder,
My
by
least
the way.
favorite part about running Let's Go is that you have to play that game with the Joy-Cons. You have to do menuing with the stick, which is horrendous. Yeah, the Joy-Cons are
How
one of the
about
controllers of all time.
how about people send in donations telling us what their favorite controller is and why?
Yeah,
That'd be
I
that
like
would
that
be
idea.
cool.
Speaking of donations, we actually have a question in the form of a donation, which is a
Okay.
very good
Whoa.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
you
have
should do
questions,
that.
you can donate, and we will answer them.
Yeah, there's $25 here from Groucho Barks who says, Dear TV, what is the soft part of the fruit sometimes called? Also, a big fan, uwu.
The softest part of the fruit is sometimes called the
Sometimes.
flesh.
Only sometimes, though. What's it called the other times, though?
The fruit bit.
The rest of the
the
fruit.
rest of the fruit. Draw the rest of the fruit. That's a reference to this game. There's a NPC in Subcon who says the softest part of the fruit is sometimes called the flesh.
Yeah, it's the one right next to where you go for the Manor Hover,
Yeah.
which I so proudly did earlier.
Shout out to Swoosh.
I'm doing
Can I get a
great.
round of applause for Swoosh, who,
Ooh.
like, I'm dragging Swoosh this entire time, but like it is actually extremely hard to do runs while also answering
This run
questions.
is also
Yeah.
hard, so...
Yeah. Helix, can you confirm this?
I was just about to chime in and be like, when I was on Dear PB, I played some of the worst Monkey Ball I've played in a long time. It was really bad.
Like every episode we have to like reassure our runners that, like, by the way, like the run will be not good because this is a like pat your head and rub your belly sort of situation that we're having
It's
you do.
definitely hard.
And
You're
I
gonna see my marathon run. I'm setting myself up for failure, but I'm gonna kick butt in this marathon run tomorrow. But then, like in Dear PB, when I'm like not talking about the run, because usually I'm at least talking about the run.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I do so well. But when
Right.
I'm talking about something else, sometimes I just can't play.
That's why I don't run on our own podcast and just host it. And someday I'll be forced to, and it'll be, oh boy.
It's because you're hardwired to talk about your game while you play it, and you're
Exactly.
not hardwired to talk about the logistics of horses.
So we do
That's true. On a scale from 1 to
Should.
10, how many horses are in this
Alright,
game?
I was thinking about
with
this.
1 being 1 horse and 10
Okay.
being 10 horses.
So there's 3.
Okay.
So there's the rocket that the Mafia rides in
True.
Speed Race. That is a horse, because it's ridden.
By the way,
quick,
we should specify that this has been a question that we've asked a couple different runners, and we've established that in the context of video games, a horse is any mount.
Yeah.
Fair.
So there's the rocket, and then there's both of the cherries in the cherry hovers.
So that there's 4 then. The
Well,
scooter.
no. Oh, true. There is a scooter.
Yeah, so that's
All
4.
right, so yeah,
That's
4.
4 different mounts or horses.
There's also the trains in Metro, but those,
Yeah.
those are temporary, so I don't know about that.
I will count those as horses.
They're temporary
Horsepower.
horses.
Trains are the mechanical horse, and that's all trains. Which I don't know how many trains are in Metro. There's an
lot.
indeterminate number of horses in this game. You should donate.
Yes,
a horse.
Ruby is
Everybody,
also a horse.
everybody donate $1 for every horse in your game.
Whoa.
And if you run,
If you run Skyrim.
if you run Shadow of the Colossus, every time you are on a horse in the game.
God.
Insert walking only % when.
We don't want to bankrupt you, but
Yeah.
we would appreciate it.
Does the ball and Monkey Ball count as a mount?
We were
We
talking
talked about
this.
this on the episode that's coming out on Monday. We actually
We
talked
discussed
about
What you don't
this.
see is Helix sweating.
The ball,
Better be.
the
Or it
ball
better not be.
is a horse, because the monkey is, even though the monkey put itself in the ball, we've established, it is like a mode of transportation and
Yes,
thus counts as a horse.
I agree with you. There's actually lore in Monkey Ball Adventure. That's a bad game, but there's lore in Monkey Ball
That's a
Adventure.
sentence.
Yeah, that actually pretty much specifies that they did put themselves in the ball.
How did you get in this situation?
Also, sorry to any Monkey Ball Adventure lovers.
Here we go.
Oh, are you sorry?
All 3 of them. Darn.
Wow. Yeah, probably. Oh, well.
Well,
Disconnected my controller.
it sucks. If you were running this yesterday, we could have just made an elongated bit for April Fools that one of them is Helix, but it is now April 2nd, so all jokes are over.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say anything funny until next April 1st.
That's what I do every episode of this podcast.
Say nothing funny?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Do you have any more
Say them
questions? Because I do have one more online one, but I do want to save it for the end. So
Ooh. Hidden question.
I do have a hidden
Questions.
question that I want to add on.
If you have questions about this run to force commentary out of me, feel
That's
free.
also allowed.
That
we
is
did.
valid.
We were like, so we talk about hat on literally every episode of this podcast.
It is my only frame of reference for
And
speedrunning
so
at this point.
And so I was like, it'd be really funny if for this episode was the one time we didn't talk about hat. But it's actually really, really hard to not talk about a game when you're commentating it live and also it's long. So
I will say the all three of the Super Monkey Ball Adventure speedrunners showed up in chat, and they are all NES underscore.
Meh.
Oh, there's. I know of like another run,
Thanks,
another
NES.
one who might not be in chat, but at least 2 of the 3 are NES underscore. Shout out to NES. I'm gonna read a couple donations while people think of questions. There are $5 here from Bash Prime, who says, Bash Prime.
Bash Prime.
Thank you, Bash Prime. And there's $10 here from New Amber, who says, my favorite controller is every turbo controller because turbo saves hands.
Turbo saves hands. Save a hand to use turbo controllers. This is the official stance of this podcast.
Yeah, very important.
And Cut
And
Helis's
also-
mic, also Midwest Speedfest.
I think they would approve.
I also think they would approve, but I don't technically know. Actually, I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the Monkey Ball episode.
This is the unofficial stance,
And I
but
just
probably
forgot.
official. How are IM puns?
What?
Wow,
That was a sentence.
You took my bad sentence and made it worse. I'm
How
proud.
I am puns.
So I have 400. I need 300. I need like 500.
Welcome to Dear PV, a podcast where we do math.
Do math.
Badly. And don't know how to speak English words.
So I need 180 for birds too, and I also need another 350.
So glad they finally released a sequel to Birds.
Yeah. 530. Well, I'm a little bit off. That's okay. I knew I would be. It's more content.
Any other questions we got from the audience? We can just stay here and say numbers into the mic for the rest of the day, which...
Oh, we've got
Dear PB, since you are wearing that hat, does that not technically mean the hat is riding you? And as a follow-up question, does that not technically mean that hat girl is a horse?
Okay, so... I like the thought here, but if you say that a hat is riding you, a horse is not... A horse does not ride you. You ride a horse.
It's true.
So, like, you can't just flip it, because if so, then, like, we would have, like... It would, like, infinitely cycle, right?
What came first, the horse?
No,
or
the hat is
The
in
horse
time.
or the rider?
That's a very good question.
Is time the horse then?
Time is the horse. Well,
We are all on this wild ride called
Is
time.
a horse
yeah.
a social construct?
I'm not awake enough for this.
We are on this wild ride called time, so yeah.
wake up, a hat is a horse.
You've been a horse in time.
You've been lied to the whole
oh,
time.
man.
Wait, that's
There we go.
that's
You
why
just
I
spoiled
have
the
this
sequel.
hat, and it's not. I didn't think about it, but it is because it's a hat run, so I have a hat. Unlike
That's why you're wearing it, I thought. You said
no,
this.
I just have it because it's Driftwood hat,
Uh-huh.
and my brand is strong.
I'm wearing a hat in game.
That's a hat in game, my favorite game.
I'm wearing a hat.
A hat and
We have
game,
another
the sequel
question.
to
Shout
a
outs
horse
to
in
hat
time.
wearers.
Hat wearers everywhere. I love
Hey.
clapping for myself again.
We're on a train. Trains ride on rails. Does that make a train a horse?
Trains are horses.
No,
We
no.
didn't establish that.
All right, trains are horses, but trains do also ride on rails. That means the
The
rails
rail is
are
also a
horse.
horse.
Oh my goodness.
It's a horse riding a horse.
Like multi-tiered horse.
It's like the towering pile of hats, but it's just...
Drashman does not get to ask a question. Helix has decided it.
I have decided to run over here and read a couple donations because we have
Understandable.
a couple. I'll get to you. I'll get to you.
Maybe.
So we have $5 here from Rumby's Revenge. Is it Rumby or is it Rumby?
Rumby.
Roomby.
Rumby.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I am not a horse!
Roomby is a horse. You
With
can
like-
ride
Roomby is a
Roomby.
horse.
With like 8 exclamation marks.
Rumby is objectively a horse. We
Yeah.
said it here first. Sorry.
We'll show. Zeus will show off Roomby being a horse later on.
Yeah.
Also,
is a horse that I don't
another
like.
question in the form of $25 from Octini. Dear PV, flammable and inflammable mean the same thing. Why is that? Was it decided by the same people who came up with bi and semi-annual? No, wait, but those mean different things. Wait a minute.
No, flammable and inflammable do mean the same thing.
Flammable and inflammable means the same thing.
There's like a reason for
Because
this
etymology's bad.
that I don't 100% remember, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with like flammable and inflammable originally didn't mean the same thing or something, and then they just kind of converged because of like I don't remember exactly why, but there is an etymology behind this, and it's interesting. I just don't remember it.
Look on Wiki.
Flammable
You
and
have a
inflammable mean the
laptop.
same thing, much like Roomby and horse mean the same thing.
So they're identical.
Versus
They're identical.
Yeah, it's the
inflammable
same thing.
etymology. Welcome to DRPP, a podcast where I Google stuff on hotel internet.
I've done that
Welcome to
before on a hotel
DRPP, where I
internet.
don't have internet.
Shout out to exhibit hall / hotel internet.
I have a question for Swoosh.
Sure.
This is Jaxler from Off Camera.
Hi, Jackson from Off Camera.
Camera.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, so this is a targeted question
Oh, no.
specifically to you.
Okay.
So, if you had to run one of my speed games and pick it up, which would it be and why?
Oh, man. What do you run? Wrong answers only.
Wrong answers only.
There's one of them. That's a miss.
Do you need me to give the mic back to Jaxley?
If you ran Hat in Time, I would say that, but you don't run Hat in Time, so I can't say that.
But wrong
so-
answers only, so hat.
Oh yeah, Hat in Time.
Easy.
Thanks, Jax, for having world record in Hat in Time.
Shoutouts to known hat runner Jax.
Anyone else see that raccoon just like clip up the railing there? No, because you're not watching the run. That's okay. I don't know.
Are you complaining that people aren't watching the run?
They're listening to it.
Exactly.
Jax runs a lot of things. One of which is SpongeBob seems cool because I've seen it like a billion times. So I'm kind of just like absorbed it, and now like I know the entire run.
Finally, a good level.
I thought you were about to say finally a good run.
That too. If we ever actually start it.
Nah.
If we ever actually start the level. Okay, cool. So this is a 4-minute auto scroller, so that means there's a lot of time for more questions.
Get ready.
Uh-oh.
It's also like the
This
same
is not a
announcer as
targeted question,
Diddy
I
Kong
promise.
Racing.
Dear PB, what is your advice to people who are going to an in-person speedrunning event for the first time?
Be in the audience for
Be in the audience for Dear PB
for
Live.
Yeah.
That's like pretty much an instant social trick right there. You're gonna make a lot of friends, and by that I mean I'll be your friend. Thank you to everyone who's here. Be
social.
Be social, and if you have social anxiety, me too.
we're all socially awkward.
Yeah, I think we're all at that point. Definitely find
I help
people.
organize this event and I have social anxiety.
Heck yeah.
Definitely find people that you know or like know of. that are
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
And then like just try and like coordinate something with them, even if it's just hanging out for a little bit. It'll make you feel better about like being part of a community.
I don't remember if I talked about this on the show or not, or like just I don't remember where I talked about this before, but I try to think about it the same way as like going like a party, where if you don't know anybody and you have social anxiety like me, then going to a party is the worst thing ever. But if you do know at least one person and they're not gonna ditch you, then it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
You just need at least one person that you have as like a like not like a fallback, but like as an anchor, I guess, like a social anchor. So that's my advice: is have at least a friend who also wants to go to Midwest Speed Fest 2022, whenever that is.
Yeah.
You want to know when that is?
Yeah.
When is it?
At 2DCon in August. I don't have exact dates, but it's usually the last weekend in August. So
Yeah.
You should go.
Keep an eye out. You should also join our Discord server, !Discord, because we post announcements about
I'm
that
in the
kind of thing.
Discord server.
Me too.
You
I
can hang out with
added.
both of us. That's like
I don't know if that's something you want.
Hey,
but-
a thing you can't do.
If that
That's
is
actually
something you want,
another good
that's cool.
tip is join the
Join
Discord
Discord.
server for the event beforehand and talk to people
sure.
there, and you will meet people that way, and then you will have people to know when you get to the in-person event.
I 1000% thought you were going to say the good tip is to join the Discord server for Midwest Speed Fest, no matter what you're going to.
I mean, also that.
Well, yes.
You'll probably have people in that server that are also. in
Yeah,
other
you can also join
events,
the Discord
so-
for Dear PB, a podcast about speedrunning.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, we have one.
I don't want to.
It's pretty cool. People talk about the episodes. That's,
True.
Which is like, that's the same as friendship.
It's the same.
There are social relationships.
We're
Where am I going?
Where are you going? Go pick up that Grooves token.
You are going to 2DCon in August to go to Midwest Pizza.
I probably am.
Are you sponsoring me?
Yeah, I just said 2021. Oh,
Oh, I already did that.
yeah, you already
Yeah.
did that.
Well, it's
Hey,
okay.
so I
When
just
we
wa-
get Dear PB in again, then you'll have to go. That's Helix's new
Make
ace
it
in the
the
hole
bet.
to get you to show up.
Oh.
True.
So I just logged on to 2dcon.net where you can learn more about 2dcon, and it's August 26th through 28th,
Oh my
2022,
goodness.
in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There you go.
That's fair.
Well, I'll be there. Who else is gonna be there? Everyone cheer if you're gonna be there. Yay! Woo!
I probably should, but I'm not sure yet.
Swoosh will be there too.
All right.
Do you have any other questions?
Why is this a level?
How much time is left in this? I don't remember.
I don't know. Like 15, 20 minutes
15,
maybe?
20 minutes?
I actually have 3 more donation questions.
Do
Oh my
it.
goodness.
Ooh.
Shout outs to all of our donation questions. It's like asking a question in person, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah, but like all your money goes to save the music.
Exactly.
so
Yeah,
actually
it's
really
totally
gets
worth
rid
it.
of
cause.
It is like-
And you get insightful commentary.
Exactly.
Maybe.
It's
Yeah.
a win-win.
Maybe.
All
Alright, shoot with your first question.
Groucho Barks donates $10 and says, Dear PB, you mentioned the music on the Snatcher fight being a banger. How much does music actually affect the enjoyment of a run? Are there runs where people stop running or start running a game because of the music? How is the music in the game your run? In the game you run? I think that's what that's supposed to say.
This depends on the person, and I have an
So-
extremely good
Yeah.
example of this.
I know when we talked to Keyzeron, we asked him this question. Well, sort of. We asked him what he likes in a run, and the first thing he said was the music.
Yeah.
Or like why like you would pick a run. And I'm not necessarily on the same level. Like I definitely do care about the audio, but it's not like the first like concern for me.
I have
But,
like a weird mixed take on this.
Go ahead.
Because I am, I guess, vaguely infamous for being the person who discovered that it saves time in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl if you turn off the music in the game. And so the optimal way to play that game is to play with no music, which some people hate. Some people like it because you can just play your own soundtrack behind it, which I kind of fall into that camp, which is like, it's cool to have a game that you can listen to your own music behind. That's fun. If every game was that, I would get bummed out because I do sing along to whatever I'm playing all the time, always. So it's like, I both like it and dislike it. Like, I would not play a game where you had to have bad audio the entire time because I would get a headache. But like, if it's something like BDSP where you have to turn the music off, it's not the end of the world to me. I guess.
Yeah, I don't play the game for the music, but if the game has good music like this, I'm all
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, clapping.
I don't know why we're clapping.
I don't know why
either,
we're
I
clapping.
just-
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
That is an annoying level. This is a hard level coming up. Hang on, I need to put my
job.
full undivided.
Can we get a moment of
attention to this
silence
hard
here
level.
for Spoosh using the telescope?
Alright, this level's really hard.
Alright, everyone be quiet, please.
So next question.
Wait, shh.
Hang on.
Shh.
This is important. Alright, we're almost there. Here's the hard part.
That
Alright.
was so clean.
God gamer.
Alright, cool. Okay.
Peak gaming right there.
I'm gonna say honestly, half the time I don't even listen to my speed games, so.
Fair.
Well, you have a mod that lets you change the music now, so like,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Banana Mania, but Monkey Ball 1 and 2, I just run on the CRT and I don't even have the audio on.
well,
Half mine has music that's absolutely terrible, and I love torturing people with it.
I also
Okay, that
think
is-
this is
I-
a good opportunity
Yeah.
to plug the Shaq Fu play with audio incentive again.
yeah, go give money for Shaq. Where's the Shaq sign?
Shaq has
Oh,
a lot of money, but Shaq Fu doesn't. Because no one really bought it. Except for Kubi.
And another question.
Yes.
$25 from Anonymous. Dear PB, C1?
C1,
C1.
cone.
Cone.
I get it. Speaking of one, there's a $1 donation from Ness _. Dear PB, is ovening the cold food and of how... Whoa, hold on, no. I had it going, then I lost it. Is ovening the cold food and of out hot eating the food ethical? I didn't... One more try. Is ovening the cold food and of hot out fooding the food ethical? I'm not sure what that tweet is supposed to mean, but I don't think I like it.
There's no ethical or the
Ethical
hot food
ovening
eat
under-
the food hot eat under food footballism.
You finally got one that tripped me up. I had to read that 3 times. Good job, Ness.
All
That's payback for the Monkey Ball Adventure
All
comment.
that for $1? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's payback for the Monkey Ball Adventure comment. It's okay.
Okay.
I guess.
I suppose.
That $1 is the third runner.
Do we have any more questions on standby?
Stand by.
We have exhausted every question we have, so I will now go back to... Wait, I already asked this one.
Oh, no.
Dear PB, what makes a game good to speedrun? Is it the factors in the game itself, like the length of the run, RNG, execution of nips or glitches, or is it external factors, like the game's community, or existence of unique and creative categories on the leaderboard? From Curious Contributor.
I feel like this is like the most subjective question ever.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say, as always, my answer to this is yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of those I have heard as reasons to like a run. I
And
don't
to
know why
hate a
I'm
run.
doing this. Yeah, and to hate a run. I'm not the biggest fan of RNG.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a factor, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. For me, I guess the most important thing is the genre. Like, I'm not gonna run like a puzzle game because that's just not interesting to me.
Yeah.
Especially in like the scope of speedrunning. Like, I am okay with puzzle games casually, but like speedrunning is just like, if the game is like, if the whole mechanic of the game is you remembering like a puzzle solution, it's like meh. If it's like, I don't know, I'm not gonna call out anyone or any games. But,
Kinda are.
I haven't said anything directly.
Literally calling out someone that plays puzzle games.
Yeah.
But
if,
if
if you're a puzzle game runner, please know that swc hates you.
Yeah, I am firmly objective against any puzzle runners. Clearly, this is my stance because I say it's not for me.
Yep.
But anyways,
But yeah, I mean, if you look at the fact that every game ever has been speedrun by some speedrometer,
but dunked.
by somebody at some
Mid-spring
point,
flame.
it shows it's just like the answer is different for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. People will run the worst games of all time. People will run games that everyone else runs.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah. Just find what you like.
100%.
Plain and simple, and don't like. It's good to get advice to get a starting point for what you want to play, but again, just find what works for you and
Just
what
like have fun with it and make it your
Right.
own, you know?
No.
Yeah, as
But,
long
like,
as it's just a game
unironically.
you can enjoy playing for a long time. Personally, the thing for me is a high skill ceiling, because then you get to continually improve as long as you're playing the game.
Why is Groove so loud?
Grooves is very loud.
Here we go.
I like that it says 2D Grooves in the background, which
That's
is a
like
reference
2D
to 2D Con at the end of August, which is going to be the time of the next Midwest Speedrun event that everyone's going to be at.
Yeah.
Why does it say 20 Grooves?
Because it's the 20th. No, actually, no, no. It's like the 56th Birds Award or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's weird.
Good RNG. That's a quick kill.
Yay! So I'm not used to it being Grooves and not
I know.
Conductor.
It's supposed to be Grooves. There's like another quick kill you can do here that's a lot faster, and you just like wail on him when he's up in the stage here.
It's
But
so weird.
it is hard and it is awkward, and I don't do it.
Yeah, it's a very strange track.
Is it the moon coming through the ground?
This is the moon, yeah.
Okay.
So Grooves'
Makes
gimmick
sense.
is that all of his movies are on the moon.
Ah,
Conductor's gimmick is like trains and stuff, so the floor
Yeah.
is like wooden for this.
gotcha.
Well, wait. Are all the? Is it, I thought the penguins just lived on the moon.
They are the moon penguins.
They're the moon penguins.
Yeah, and you get lower gravity when you're on the moon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so-
But I didn't. But like Grooves is at Deadbird Studio in the first. Is every movie he's filming in Deadbird Studio moon theme?
Maybe.
I don't know. I never like paid attention to that. That's
Do we have any more questions? Also, if there are no questions from donations or the in-person audience, I will pull questions from the chat. So
Do it.
Yeah,
feel
no,
free to
you
ask
should
in
do
chat
it.
as well.
Do it.
This
Yeah.
run has, I'd say, about 12 minutes left.
Yeah, I am going to take the last 6 minutes or so for one question that I've been saving. But
So all of finale.
yeah, pretty much. Finale is gonna be a different question.
Okay.
And I'm gonna request audience participation for that question. So just be prepared. And if the audience doesn't participate, I'll be a little annoyed.
All right, go ahead with your
Oh
chat
no,
question.
pressure's on.
Here, you can threaten with baguette.
Good. So we have $5 here from Puzzle Game Speedrunner that says, Dear PB, have you ever really been far even has decided to use Even Go Want to Do Look More Like? I have.
Sorry, I firmly object to puzzle game speedrunners, so I'm not gonna answer this question.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there is your hot take about VNs.
Visual novels should not be speedrun. That's my hot take.
Or
sorry, they cannot.
There's
be
only
speedrun.
one thing that Swoosh likes more than Swoosh dislikes. Oop.
Yeah, weird.
There's only one thing that.
Why is the camera bouncy?
The only thing that Swoosh likes more than Swoosh dislikes puzzle games is gatekeeping.
Yeah, clearly. No one gatekeeper of the speedrun community, me. Anyways, if you want to learn how to run this game, I have a tutorial.
Yeah, you should go check out That Could Be a Game That You've Sped Run on YouTube.
That is how you introduce
by
it.
Swoosh.
I love it.
It's good. Okay, so every single I never remember the name of Swoosh's series because my brain doesn't work. And so every time I say it slightly differently, and people have started looking up, like Googling the whatever I call it, and it tends to work.
You're building lore.
Yeah, no, like, one time I called it, like, this is a game that maybe you could speedrun if you feel like, I don't know, do what you like, by Swoosh, and then if you look that up, it actually works.
Yeah, so for context, this is a nice mouse rest. For context, I make a tutorial series on YouTube, or I made, called How to Speedrun Anything, and no one remembers the name of it, which is sad.
Well, they are asking when you're going to be releasing the Links tutorial.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Honestly, wait, hold on.
If you want to explain the backstory of Link's to
I
Links,
will, one
everyone's
second.
favorite game.
Everyone's favorite game. Bonus episode ideas. Links, the Links, speedrun tutorial. Thank you. So yeah, we have a Patreon, which I don't think we're supposed to technically like shill for during the middle of our own speedrun.
Yeah.
But we do have a Patreon, and we do a bonus episode every month. And Links to Links is a definitely real game that we
100% real
commentated.
Yeah.
We essentially just improv a comedy track or a commentary track for a game that doesn't exist, and people have told us it's funny, and you should go watch it by giving us money.
So we had the idea to just make up a speed game, and I was like, hey, let's go ask what AI thinks. And we consulted AI, and we got like all the tricks that don't exist, all the runners that don't exist. And it's a full series now. It's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore to this dumb podcast we did on a whim.
I like how you said you're not supposed to plug your Patreon, and then you did it aneway. And
I'm not supposed
I
to.
also
Yeah.
don't think we
Anyways.
ever established that you weren't supposed to do that. Like, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
I don't have anything against it.
Patreon.com/DearPBPod. Wait, can we play the whole ad? I haven't prepared all the phone.
No, because we have another question.
Perfect.
Ooh, what's the question?
You should also donate money. That's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question
Woo,
about.
Switch donate. Okay.
All right, I have a question. Well, it's not really about the game, but I just wanted to know. So, in the Hat in Time logo, we've got all the major characters. So,
Wait, I need to look at it real quick.
So, Hack is there, Mustache Kid's there, Mafia Boss, the Conductor, Queen Vanessa, and Snatcher. But DJ Grooves is notably missing. Why didn't he make it?
Because the canonical ending for Dead Bird Studio is that the conductor wins.
Is that true?
No, I made that up.
Good. That's what I
I
thought.
was just going to say time zone differences.
Yeah. Grooves was unavailable to me.
Well, because
So-
Drew is on the moon.
All right, so my serious answer, I don't know this for sure, but I do know that Grooves was supposed to be, possibly a different design, but there are a lot of like female voice lines for Grooves, which implies that
True,
the design
yeah.
was probably supposed to be different. So it might have gotten changed late enough in production that they just didn't add it. Obviously, I don't know, but it might be that. That's like the only thing.
If you're
or just go on the cutting room floor and see if
you're
it's
Gears
there.
for breakfast and you're watching this,
Sorry.
right in. Also, sorry. For
Ooh, speaking of lag shots, this is my favorite one.
yeah, this one's cool. Oh, I do it again.
Like that bass.
It's so amazing you have to do it twice.
Like that
3
bass.
times.
It's like
First try.
first try. Yeah.
Easy.
Look at that bird.
That's a bird.
That's a bird.
Real bird.
So what's left? Mafia of Cooks, finale.
CTR and
CTR.
finale.
Yeah. So
So
we got time for like a one
get
or
your
two more
last
questions
questions in.
for baby in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any in the form of donations or from the audience, so slide away
Slacking.
in chat, or just donate.
Yeah, you can just donate.
Just donate. We also have
Just, like,
incentives
donate.
to you too, so.
It's true. You
There's
could-
the that bonus any percent run of Morrowind is at $5 of 200, and we can totally get that mad by the time that run finishes. Y'all gotta donate.
Should.
This is a great time to donate.
Yeah.
Then you get a question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it. Then you give me things to read. I
Exactly.
like doing that.
But your time's running out because we are nearing the end of our lovely live
Scheduled
show.
content.
Shoutouts again.
Look, I did what I could to delay the run as much as possible.
Yeah.
I missed enough stuff, so we're good.
But yeah, shoutouts again to Midwest Speed Fest for letting us do this, because I don't think anyone's ever submitted a live podcast episode to a speedrun marathon before.
I don't know if we will ever
It's
again.
been cool.
Yeah, I hope people
We can
had
make this
fun
a
with it.
recurring
We
thing.
can. Exactly. If you liked it, write in.
Yeah.
Because I require people to like the things I do to live.
Wow.
So
You're an influencer?
I'm an influencer. No, but if people liked it, we would love to do more. So
For sure.
let us know, either by like tweeting at the Midwest Speed Fest Twitter and being like, "Yeah, Swoosh and May are so cool, XD." Or you can also follow us at twitter.com/DearPB, because we do this
It's
every week.
twitter.com/DearPBpod.
DearPBpod.
DearPB was suspended for some reason, and we don't know why.
DearPB Pod. Or follow us on YouTube. Or do,
Add a long link.
or do both.
Whoa.
Because we do this every week, and we have a different guest on every week, and sometimes it's people who are related to Midwest Speed Fest too. So it's like
Felix,
getting
Like
two
Felix.
for the price of one.
Yeah, I was on once.
Yeah, we just had an episode come out last week with Mr. Shasta, who was on
Runner
right before.
right
the
before.
runner
Yeah, literally
before
run
here.
before this.
That's
Yeah.
this actually was like an elaborate reference to the DRPB cinematic universe right there. And then our next up, we have an episode coming out on Monday with Insert Logic. So you should definitely check those out if you thought this was enjoyable. And the runs are better, so that's also a win.
More content.
Oh no!
More content.
Yay!
Woo! One more question. Hurry up. This is the last chance for questions.
Last chance for questions. Anybody in the audience? Going once. Going twice. Okay, a question from chat from Ness _. Dear PB, how do you close out a marathon run?
By failing the final trick in the run.
Yeah, okay, so historically the way I do it is by shouting people out for so long that I get cut off.
Smart.
Famously, the game that I mainly run, Pokemon RS, has 10 minutes of credits before the final fight, and we don't include that for marathon timing. First try.
That's not hard.
Nah, I don't include that. We don't include that for marathon timing because it's literally like 10 minutes. It's a very hotly debated thing. But one time when I ran Alpha Sapphire the first time for GDQ Hotfix, I did do shoutouts for 10 full minutes straight to the point where I was able to do the post-credits scene. So that's a cool normal thing that I do. So you could just talk for so long that you lose track of time. Also, the way that we end every episode of our podcast is by awkwardly saying "Okay, bye," or
Okay, bye.
in some way. So you could just do that. I recommend that.
Yeah, shoutouts are always nice.
Okay, I want to ask my one question I've been saving,
Oh boy.
and that is,
42.
Dear PB, what is your favorite thing about your respective speedrunning community? Could be the community for the game you're on, or the community you created or joined irrespective of game. From shout out to the community. And I don't want to answer this question. I would like the audience to answer this question for us. So if you have a nice thing that you want to say about your speedrunning community, or this marathon, or anything speedrunning related, raise your hand. I want to see every hand raised. I'm sure you all have nice things to say. I don't.
Mike's on.
Love doing this. This is so fun. One of the things that I really like about the community that I'm in, I'm a Source Engine speedrunner, so I do a bunch of stuff over on, the Portal side of things, the Half-Life side of things. And a lot of that is about that high skill ceiling you were talking about earlier. Everyone's improving all the time, and there's new stuff that's still being found. I'm running Portal 2 here later today, and
Watch that run.
you'll
that run.
see a lot of tricks that were invented in the past year for a game that came out 11 years ago. And so it's really cool to see, the consistent improvement and consistent changing of, the guard, so to speak.
I'm a big fan of that too.
Yeah. Though personally, I never improve and I refuse to do so.
Yeah, I always love seeing communities that are like, after 37 years, they found a new trick. It's like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I'm doing here. Alright, we're good. Next answer. What do you like about
Answer.
your community?
Oh my
Whoa, gosh.
goodness.
Oh my god. My audio got boosted. Okay.
Helix jump scare.
Hashtag boosted.
So I run the Prime games, or really, I guess, Prime 1 and 2. I think my favorite I think especially with like 2 in the randomizer community, there's a great effort put on by like our most active members to push our categories as much as they can, but then also not forgetting to be accessible and putting in the time to help new runners and not gatekeep. I think that's extremely important.
I was today years old when I realized why you are Bash Prime. And I feel so dumb.
Shout out to May.
Learning moment.
Look, I like this guy must be like at least once a month where somebody's like, my username is this very obvious thing, and I go, oh my god, people's usernames have meanings.
Do you know what my username stands for?
Swoos.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we established this in the last commentary stream. Don't watch it.
Keep referencing it, but don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Next answer. I'm keeping the mic over here so I don't jump scare everybody again.
I'm learning how to run Tetris the Grandmaster, which is, sorry, it's a puzzle game.
Tetris the Grandmaster.
No, alright.
Awesome.
Tetris is my one exception. Tetris is really freaking cool.
All right, so I guess we agree on something then.
Yes.
I was the puzzle game lover from earlier.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
So yeah, about the TGM community, I've been learning a lot, and I've been able to like chat with other people who were my inspirations were actually running the game in the first place. But yeah, I've always been able to ask other people questions and their advice, and they've looked at my videos and told me, hey, you can try this. This is a new skill you should work on. So just the support that I've gotten from so many other people in the community has been really cool, and everyone's really accepting and really nice. So yeah, I love that community, and I shout outs to Midwest Speed Fest. You guys are, you all are really cool people too, and I am enjoying every moment of this. Thanks.
Shout out to Midwest Speed Fest. Yay! Also, the C in Swoo stands for cancel. For your puzzle game takes.
Understandable. I deserved it. Don't let swc19 of famed podcast Dear PB Pod tell you what to run.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be wrong.
Dear PB, I'm part of the Kingdom Hearts speedrunning community, and about a year ago, our games finally got released to the PC port, which opened up the opportunity for a ton of mods and quality of life practice options to be added to the game. And recently, my favorite part of the community is all the people who are significantly smarter than me with tech, who have put in a lot of effort to search through the game's memory and make massive quality of life improvements such as load removers, auto splitters, mods to help us sequence break for the sake of practice and making that quicker. There's been a huge collaborative effort in my community recently with that for people who are never even going to run the game but just have that interest to help us. And they're part of the community too. So this is a shout out to every community that has those people who put in the time to help optimize the runs in ways that aren't necessarily about finding strats or bringing the time down, because all that contributes to it.
Big shoutouts.
Alright, and we will say our own things too. We're not going to fully outsource the end of this podcast to the audience. I run a Pokemon, obviously, and I've met so many people over the past 2 years or so since I've been running Pokemon stuff that are now like very close friends to myself that I would never have met otherwise. So huge shout out to that community for like bringing memorable people into my life.
Yeah.
Also, the hack community did that too. Shout out to the hack community. They're also very cool, and I love them.
This is the best finale I've ever had, by the way. I'm just prolonging this. Okay. I've had enough. Yeah, the hack community has a lot of these people that kind of just not necessarily work behind the scenes, but do a lot of stuff just to improve everyone else's quality of life and enjoyment of the game. That's big. Also, that's time.
Yay! We have been Dear PB, a podcast about speedrunning. If you liked our show, check us out at twitter.com/DearPBPod.
Wow.
And if you want to see more of this, please, more of this live show sort of situation, please let us know so that we can convince other marathons to do our dumb thing too.
Yeah. Please shout out more people. I have something that I said that I was going to go
Oh,
to.
right. Also, shout outs to all of our audience members for giving us way more questions than I thought we were going to have. I was so convinced we'd have like 2 questions, and I would just be like, I don't know what to do. This feels like an hour and change.
I actually have an answer to the community thing.
Okay.
I'll do this
In
to Speed Runway.
the Monkey Ball Banana Mania community, there have been a bunch of people finding more like creative ways to play the game. Actually, just the Monkey Ball community in general, with like making custom levels. There's a mod that was released for Banana Mania on April 1st that makes every stage invisible. We have Banana Mania Bingo. So just like shout out to the people who find creative ways to keep running the game.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it also kind of staves off burnout. We talked
No,
about earlier.
I feel that because I've been doing some like a lot of Pokemon runners, myself included, have been doing the like Kaizo Ironmon challenge or variants on it, and that's been like helping me get past 3DS or Gen 6 burnout. So yeah, shout outs to people who are creative and do cool creative stuff. Shout outs to trans rights.
Woo! There it is.
And shout outs to Midwest Speed Fest for having us on and for putting on a great event. It's been a fun weekend so far, and it'll be a fun weekend to go. To come. That's what I meant. Fun weekend for the rest of it. Also, if you thought that I was really annoying, too bad. I'm running another run later tonight.
Yes.
So I'll be back, and I bet Swoosh will probably be on my couch.
So you're also hosting next.
What?
You're also hosting
I'm
next.
also hosting next, but I have to go to the bathroom so badly before I do
Me
that.
too.
I'll be around.
You go, and then we'll transition, then I'll go.
Okay.
Shoutouts to.
Shouts to the bathroom
Wait.
breaks.
Shoutouts
What?
to everyone on the couch and in the audience. And
Speaking of everyone on the couch in the audience, fade us out.
TM.
Do it. This is gonna be really awkward otherwise.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Just like the podcast. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Now you're just messing with us.
Yeah, come on, please.